Welcome back to the third game in the losers semi-final between TyrantQ and Herr Acker. So don't be confused, Food Please is supposed to be in the game here, but it's actually TyrantQ just laming the laptop of his brother in the hopes of a more stable internet connection, because he already had some drops today, which I already experienced a lot in the recent days, and I think now other people enjoy this feature of the definitive edition as well. So the land that is played here is Land Nomad. So after Herr Acker did not have success on Nomad, he decided to go for Land Nomad instead. And we already start off the game with a will fighting. This can only go bad for one player. And oh god, this is a bad move. You should pull away further, because his opponent will just get in the final hit. And then this villager is lost. I'm not sure if he will make it to the TC. Oh, but the villager just stops. Sometimes this just happens. Sometimes villagers just stop. Boars just stop. Other units just stop. It's ridiculous. I mean, please fix your programming. And now, actually, the tables have turned. Herr Acker might be able to pick this villager. He needs 2 more hits, and he will be able to get one in soon, I guess. Yes, there's the first hit, and now it's only 1 hit left to kill a villager, and that will be a big advantage in the early game for Herr Acker. Who already is close to having his TC up, where his opponent is still struggling with it. But now a villager is here, but I think Herr Acker can just try to chase this. It's gonna be close, but I think it could be worth it to just give chase, get in the last hit, and then just run away, because you can see that there's only like a few hits you can get in the long walking distance. No, he's turning back too early. Oh, but maybe he's able to lame. Yes, he's able to lame the cows. Very nicely done. And maybe he's able to lame the boar as well. And he's able to lame the third cow. I mean, the lame is not too big, because these you can still gather the food from these cows, but it does prevent, I would say a couple, maybe like 20 to 30 food that's just rotting away here at these cows that cannot be taken by TyrantQ. So very nicely done. However, I think that Acker could have had the opportunity to just wall this villager in and shoot the boar, and that would have been even better. Meanwhile, on the other side, Acker does not have such a nice food economy yet. He has to go for the deer, but that's still fine for him, I guess. Overall, very even in population. I think that Acker got his town center up earlier, so he's a little bit ahead in the production queue, but I think he has a little bit more problem getting in the food, and I'm not so sure about the mill placement. Yes, it reduces the running time a little bit here. But anyways, these villagers gather so much wood, so much food before they have to drop off, that it's usually not worth it to drop a mill just for 2 deer. So I would have loved to see the mill maybe drop somewhere else, at another deer patch that's further away, or something else. Yes, so let's look at the fog of war. I mean, the main scouting has already been done, so Herr Acker knows where his opponent is, who is now taking the second cow over here. So nice laming attempt by Herr Acker, I like it. I mean, he's also going for the laming award, I can see. And now TyrantQ also knows where his opponent is, so basically the cards are on the table. Both players know where the opponent is, they just need to execute the strategy that they have in mind. So in the beginning it's very important to just pump out those villagers and to get an economy lead, and then you need to be able to hit your opponent in the feudal age. And let's see what kind of strategies we're going to see in this one. And here you see the problem. Now TyrantQ was able to get the boar in, and the boar is just so much food. It's 350 free food, and it was right here, and Acker could have just lamed it and taken his opponent far back. So more cows are found by Herr Acker, which is very nice, and he also has a boar over here which he could take, and that would be a good move to boost his food economy. let's talk a little bit about the civs and the map over here, or the positions of these players. So Herr Acker having the Mongols, and the Mongols actually have a hunt bonus, so that's very, very nice of him. So that's why going for the deer was actually a very, very good move. And so there, something he could do is go for scouts maybe. So that's a typical Mongol strategy because you get this early food bonus. So it's very easy to pump out the scouts for Herr Acker. And for TyrantQ, he got the Koreans, and there's only one thing the Koreans can do, and that is go for towers. And in the recent tournament, I don't want to spoil it, but we saw the Koreans in the finals, and indeed they went for their whole playbook, which is towers, war wagons, and turtle ships. Now, Herr Acker dropping another house, and one thing you should remember in these kind of maps is that you need a second building to go up to the next age. And usually, a lot of the time players tend to forget that because they think like, okay, yeah, I got a lumber camp, I got a mill, but you don't have a lumber camp because you dropped your TC right next to the wood line. So oftentimes players tend to notice that way too late. Now TyrantQ getting housed, and that's always a problem with newer players and older players alike. That they get housed early and then they're just behind in population because the opponent has time to create more villages at the same time. Now here's something from TyrantQ that I don't like, and that is, first of all, we have a lot of farms placed very early, even though there's still so much food out there. So we have the deer, we have the cows, we have a boar over here, another boar here, more cows. So instead of like going for these farms, you should just scout with the villages and try to find more food. And the other thing I don't like is that the farms are placed here around the mill, and look what's happening. Look at this. Herr Acker drops the barracks, and he could just like pump out 3 militia, and look at those weak farmers. That's the third mistake here. Instead of using like full HP villagers to build the farm, he is using the weakest villagers to make the farms that are the furthest away from his town center. And yeah, even one militia is basically enough. I mean, this is just one hit here, a couple of hits here, a couple of hits here. So that's something that TyrantQ can improve upon. But I think he's very confident in this match. He's not really worried too much. But now he sees the barracks, and he only sees it because he is Koreans, and the Koreans have a larger line of sight. And now he's trying to wall it in, which is always the strategy you should go for, is trying to wall in your opponent, and then no more military units can spawn. And I hope that Herr Acker notices this, and yes, he does. And here is the first militia. And now this villager is walled in, and so I think it's already kind of a success for Acker. I mean, he forces a lot of idle time. He forces some response here. A panic mill is dropped, not dropped, dropped again. This villager is in peril. I mean, he could just fight this, but I guess that TyrantQ is just stunned by this attack over here. And now he already did get a few hits. What a great attack by Herr Acker, and he really puts the pressure on. He's already up to the next age, and he can now go for the man-at-arms upgrade if he so desires. I mean, this villager might even go down here. And I think the TyrantQ does not micro this correctly. Herr Acker now making a little bit of a mistake. He should save the HP on his military units. And I think no villager, maybe one villager will go down. Yes, one villager being picked here. And yes, if he can pump out a few more men-at-arms for militia and then men-at-arms, he can do a lot more damage here. I like it. And his opponent nowhere near up to the next age. And I mean, yes, there are less villagers here for Herr Acker. He only has 19 villages, but he has the momentum, and the momentum is always so important in these kind of games, and he will be able to pick another villager here, I guess. One more swing. Yes! And maybe he will get another one! And here's another militia over here, and I hope he thinks about the man-at-arms upgrade, because that makes them a lot better at picking villagers, because they just get more attack. Yeah, he even realized that he's within the range. Oof. A little bit of a unlucky shot there for Herr Acker, but still the militia survived, and if he goes for the upgrade, they will become so much stronger, and now he could even use a villager to go forward and maybe drop a tower on his opponent. So very nicely done here by Herr Acker. I like this. He also, like, his building placement makes sense. It's building kind of a defensive wall here against some counter raids. He could easily wall off here later. He has a nice economy getting over here. Now, villager number-wise, is pretty even. Now here, I think the mistake is to go for the blacksmith upgrade. Instead, he should just go for the man-at-arms upgrade. Surely... Oh, another villager being picked. So nicely done. What a great game, but don't lose any HP here. Yes, just go back, and yeah, the barracks have been denied so far, and now he can just go in and out and in and out, and now finally the man-at-arms upgrade is coming in, and they already have their +1 attack, and that will just make them so much stronger here. I love the aggression by Herr Acker. He really knows what he wants to do. He has a strategy in mind and he's executing it almost perfectly. And now the man-at-arms are in and they're so scary. Now they have 7 attack against 1 armor, so they deal 6 damage per hit. And now this gold miner is even here, and only now TyrantQ is going up to the next stage. That's ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. And I think it was because of this bad farming eco. And now again, yes, losing another villager. Move out, move out. Yes, nicely done. Will lose 1 man-at-arms, but I think he can just produce more. He could just go for an endless man-at-arms pressure here, almost. Or maybe complement it with towers. But now he is going for the archers. And this villager will also fall, I guess. 1 more hit. Yes. What a great play here. And another villager will go down. Wow, this is pressure here. I mean, who is this player? I mean, we saw that Herr Acker was online a lot in the last couple of days, and we speculated that Susie was playing, so maybe it's her that's really doing all the work. But now Herr Acker doesn't need to be... he's a little bit too far out here, and he might get walled out, and that's exactly what happens. But he can still just attack these unfinished buildings and just destroy them and inflict a lot of damage that way. And if he produces a couple of archers here, then again he's in a good position. And at the same time, look at the villager number. Herr Acker 24, TyrantQ 17, so very nicely done. And now if the archers are coming out, and now we see the watchtower being constructed. So good over here. There is a counter tower coming out, and I think the counter tower will be up earlier, so I think this aggression will be stopped here eventually, unless the archers can make something happen. But I think they're lacking the upgrades. It's only one single archer, but it might be able, Acker might be able to actually pick off another villager here with the archer. Yes! Nicely done, but now he should retreat with his army because the tower will be up in a second. Yes, it's up, and now he needs to be able to not lose everything here. 1 man-at-arms is already down. You need to retreat. You need to just go back a little bit and then think about a new angle of attack. And yeah, you need to withdraw and just go around, attack the other side. Look at this. There's a single stone miner over here, so vulnerable. Just take your army, go to the other side, and that's that. And you also need to set your gather point somewhere else. Yes, he already has done that. Very, very nicely done. And unfortunately, this tower will not get completed, but that's okay. Even taking the time to lame the deer over here is Herr Acker, so great play. He is now almost 10, or he's now 10 villages ahead. Great play by him. And only now TyrantQ getting up his barracks. I hope that Herr Acker does not lose his lead at this point. He needs to really go around here and attack from a different angle. I mean, you could just position your archers in the back over here. Now there's even an archer range going down over here. Stable going down for Herr Acker. who's unfortunately getting housed a lot, so that's something he needs to work on. I don't think he has realized that, but it's okay. He's still 10 villages ahead, and he really he's also going around now. He's inflicting more damage onto these villages. He needs to make sure that he's not getting hit by these towers, but oh man, he is inflicting so much damage. And I mean, the GG could come in at any moment if this goes on. I mean, this villager might go down. This one is 1 HP. One more shot from an archer. Yes, this villager goes down, and this one might also go down in the end. Wow, what a play by Herr Acker, so aggressive, I love it. And look at all of these panic walls and panic everything. I mean, they're not complete, this barracks not completed, the house is not completed, a lot more house, and that's so much idle time that's being forced on the opponent. And now look at what is cooking in here. It's just some bloodlines. Okay, fair enough. But if Herr Acker decides to just go up to the next age, because he has the market, he has a lot of villages queued, he has a lot of gold, he could just think about clicking up to the next age, and then you have suddenly have bloodline knights coming out from your stable, and that would be so devastating here. Because I think that TyrantQ is prepping some skirms. So yes, it's a lot of skirms there, but realistically, I mean, they might be able or will be good against defending from these archers. That's for sure, but I mean, even a single knight or a couple of scouts could easily clean off this amount of skirmishes. So unfortunately, they're not attacking, so one will get picked off for free, and maybe another one will get picked off for free. And also, the man-at-arms is helping a lot. But I think this little army will get clean in the end. And I think that Acker is making a minor mistake here. I think instead of going for the scouts, I think the winning play would actually be to go for the castle age and just go for knights, and then you can force a GG from your opponent that way. However, this single scout, as you can see, so strong against these skirmishes. They also benefit from forging already. They have +1 attack, they're missing the defense upgrade, but they have the bloodline, so they have a lot of HP. And I think that those skirmishes are just getting mopped up by the scouts. And yeah, now TyrantQ has to tech into Spearman. So, and that's never a winning position in a game if you rely on skirmishes and Spearman. I've gotta say. Now this tower might also get denied by these spearmen. Ooh, this could be ugly over here. The scouts getting attacked by the spearmen. One more villager getting picked off. But I think that now Acker is throwing a little bit away. His lead a little bit away, and this villager I think will get picked off by the spearman as well. And I think the time of scout aggression in feudal age is just over, but he is also already clicking up to the castle age, and I like it very much. So one game ending move that he should have gone for instead of the tower is maybe a castle drop. In early castle age, just go forward with a lot of villages, drop a castle. I mean, these few puny military units are not going to do too much. But he also needs to be careful not to like trickle in his military units. I mean, that's what he's doing. He's producing an archer, he's producing another archer. But if his opponent's military is sticking together, then yeah, there's not much he can do actually. I mean, yes, those are very weak spearmen, but if you trickle your units in like that, the spearmen can even yeah, nicely deal with your army as well. But now they're really distracted, and I think this one archer might even be enough to kill a lot of the spearmen. So one going down, second going down. Okay, I spoke too soon maybe. Also, the spearmen don't have any upgrades, and this one heroic archer already killed 3 spearmen. There's more men-at-arms over here, and the men-at-arms are so good against the spearmen, of course. So very nicely done of Herr Acker to also tech switch back and forth between the different counter units. And I think, yeah, the archers clean up the spearmen, the men-at-arms are still there. However, I think that Acker also needs a way now to go into his opponent's economy, and I think like this avenue is wide open over here, so maybe towers, castle, or just general aggression over here would be great. But however, Acker is in such a great position. He is in the castle age. He has an 8 villager lead. He has military parked at his opponent's base. He just killed another tower foundation, denying the wood of his opponent. He just needs to close this one out, and now he is indeed going for the knights and also for husbandry. So he has knights with bloodlines and husbandry. However, he should also get the blacksmith upgrades if he thinks about that. Now, housing the opponent won't work in this situation because, yeah, there are so many houses of TyrantQ that there's basically nothing to deny here. I'm wondering if there's a pathway in here. I think that's the case, and then the knights can just run in, and there's so many juicy villages to pick. Some of them are even weak, like this one. There's villages over here at the gold. So that's why you should always keep on scouting. Now finally, Herr Acker realizes that he can choose a different angle of attack, and if he parks his archers, I mean it's only 2 archers, but it's enough. 2 archers is better than 0 archers, and now he can just park his archers and just deny farmland, deny this tower spot. Look at this panic reaction of TyrantQ. I mean, I probably will get this tower up, but he will lose a villager. Get so much idle time, and he just has some measly spearman, and the spearman will get cleaned up by the men-at-arms if he thinks about this. Now even the knights are out, and I think Acker is really doing something to throw away the game, I see. I mean, he's losing his military here again, and now he's going for the cav archers, and this really doesn't make sense in this situation. Yes, the cav archers have been buffed, so they are stronger now, and the Lord Doubt himself has used them to great effect. That is true. However, you are not the Lord, and therefore you should probably stay away from cav archers. I mean, granted, they have some upgrades, but yeah, you're just giving your opponent time to come back into this game. I mean, why not drop a siege workshop, attack with a mangonel here, drop a castle, in your opponent's face. I mean, you almost have the stone. If you just delete your tower foundations, you do have the stone. But I'm not seeing that here, and now he's also losing. He's slowly losing his men-at-arms. I think that there's already something cooking over here in this archery range. And yes, indeed, it's some skirmishes. And I think if you build the cav archers, you also need to use them for raiding. Just go around, hit this, hit the wood line. Don't stay underneath the tower. Don't stay there. So that's the problem. Don't stay underneath the tower. Just move around. Go over here. There's another tower being forced up for TyrantQ, and now finally he finds the stone villages, and that's very, very good. So I think he should be able to kill all of these if he does micro this correctly. Yes, I think that's 4 more villager picks. Now these villagers, they're hop into the tower, but the tower is out of range. They're safe for now, but they're also idle. Now he can just sit behind the wood line forever and ever. But however, I think he still needs a GG move. And one of the things that Koreans have is that their towers get upgraded automatically, and that means they have more range, I believe, and also more attack. Or maybe it's the same range. I actually don't know, because I never ever play with guard towers. But this is so strong. The cav archers is just sitting behind the wood line. They can just pick off villages for days. And look at this 20 villager lead. Then we have the knights over here at the gold. Knights really not terribly affected by the guard tower. He's now even attacking the tower with the villagers, and of course there's no free murder hole, so this is a bonus that only students get. So basically the tower cannot shoot adjacent military units that attack it. So yeah, and now I think it's a little bit messy for Herr Acker, but still he will be able to force down this tower. There's a market being constructed here in a panic fashion. We have some cav archers over here. who also now have the +2 attack upgrade. And yeah, this tower will be denied soon. It's denied now. I mean, Herr Acker loses a lot in the process, but it doesn't matter. He just has a much stronger economy. It's 49, 51 villages to 22. In the meantime, he has started to boom. He has another town center over here. A lot of idols, doesn't matter. He has a strong economy. He has a strong forward position, and I think TyrantQ has to tap out. And now here is finally the GG castle, the classic move there. The move that says, get out of my fucking game, it's over. But now there's the counter castle, and actually the GG castle might be denied again. I think Acker needs to move in with his cav archers and pick off the villagers that are building this castle foundation. And unfortunately for him, there's a tower, a pesky guard tower over here, but he is killing some villagers. But I just think that this castle will go up first, yes indeed, and I think the GG castle will be denied for now, and that's the problem. Like, there was just too much time given to TyrantQ to just get into this game. Now all the cav archers, and that's why cav archers in the wrong hands are not a great unit, because they just die so easily. And I think the right choice for Acker would be now to play it safe, just when in doubt, boom it out, just get ahead in economy so far that your opponent is not able to come back in any capacity. However, you should also make sure that you drop a castle at some point. Of course, you waste a lot of stone here, so it's going to be difficult, but there's more stone over here. And never forget to produce more military, because right now there's basically no military here at all, and you know that TyrantQ wants to go back to this gold because he really does not have any resources in this corner. I mean, he has a bag of gold over here, but I'm not sure if he knows about this. Oh yes, he does know about this. He has Korean line of sight, but in the position of Herr Acker, you should always patrol a few knights over here, because then, or some cavalry archers if you prefer that, because then you're able to pick off more stray villages. Yes, so we kind of reached a stalemate situation over here, but however, if you look at the villager number, it's crushingly in favor of Herr Acker, who is also now going for the camels. So going for Mongolian camels and cav archers, I like it. That's very, very interesting, and that's why you should patrol some knights over here, because now the guard tower is complete. The guard tower is very annoying. So yeah, you need to be careful. And I think what's going to happen is that TyrantQ wants to go for some knights of his own, because the knights could be the unit that gets him back into the game. But I don't really see it over here. I just think that it's over at this point. I think that just Acker is not used to the situation. He does not know how to react when he's so far ahead. When he just has to close out the game, he's like, oh, I have never been in this position, so what do I do? How do I close out this game? But I think if he just keeps on making economy, just keeps on adding military units, just like doing what he's doing already, then he cannot lose. And I think that TyrantQ will have to tap out soon. I mean, it's double the amount of villages. I mean, that's just not a lot of economy for TyrantQ. I mean, yes, he does have the castle. He might be able to produce a few war wagons or something, but you already have the camels out, and the camels are very strong against the war wagons. For sure. So I'm just waiting for this game to end at this point, to be honest, and then we are going to see a game 4 in this series. Can you believe it? A lot of people have like thought, well, this is a clear victory for TyrantQ, who had a strong performance in his group where he won against Freddy, taking the 3rd spot in the group. But yeah, that's not. He's now playing against a different opponent. He's playing against Herr Acker, who loves to go aggressive, who loves to really put on the pain. And Herr Acker, he's doing the right thing. He's playing it safe. He's like he's not throwing this game, because some people would let go very balls to the walls, drop the castle very much forward, but he's like, okay, I don't need to do this, I can just win the game without risking everything. And I mean, look at what's coming out of his opponent. It's just like 9 spearmen. Is that how how you're gonna win the game? But his opponent, he is making something even more ridiculous. He has queued up 5 mangonels in 1 siege workshop, and yeah, I don't know. It takes a lot of economy to actually do that. And now we have the problem that the cavalry archers are not too great against the knights, but I think the knights also lack upgrades. And there was the castle fire, and yeah, the camels should be over here and the cavalry archers should be over here, but I think that's the game, and TyrantQ taps out, and we are in for a treat with another game in this amazing series. Let's very quickly look at the timeline. I mean, if you look at this from the very beginning, with this early aggression, Herr Acker was in the lead, getting so many kills with his men-at-arms. Then he struggled a little bit, but he came back, went to Castle H, and then it was just smooth sailing from there. And what a game this was. See you in game 4 between TyrantQ and Herr Acker.